Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one word that decides the difference between an average life and an extraordinary life, it is discipline. Self-discipline. The ability to control yourself, to guide yourself, to demand more from yourself than others ever will. Now, you and I both know, it's not a glamorous word. It doesn't make headlines. Nobody throws a party for discipline, yet discipline is the very thing that builds freedom. Think about that. Freedom doesn't come from doing what you feel like. Freedom comes from having the strength to do what you must do when you don't feel like doing it. Let's explore this together. Discipline is the bridge. There's a bridge that connects where you are and where you want to be. That bridge is called self-discipline. Without it, you're stranded. You stand on the side of your hopes, dreams, and intentions, but you never arrive at the side of results, achievement, and fulfillment. How many people do you know who talk about what they want? They want to be fit. They want to be wealthy. They want to be respected. They want it, but they don't walk across the bridge. Why? Because the bridge is hard. It requires effort. It requires saying no to comfort and yes to growth. But let me tell you, the pain of discipline is always smaller than the pain of regret. Regret lasts a lifetime. Discipline lasts only until it becomes habit, and then it becomes freedom. Discipline shapes character. You don't build discipline by accident. Discipline is a decision. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And just like a muscle, if you don't use it, it withers. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen that muscle. Every time you wake up when you said you would, every time you choose the salad instead of the cake, every time you put in an extra hour on your craft instead of watching another episode, you're not just doing the task, you're building yourself. You're shaping your character into someone reliable, someone powerful, someone capable of leading their own life. Discipline and time. Self-discipline is also the greatest manager of time. Here's why: without discipline, time slips away. You waste hours, days, even years chasing distractions. But with discipline, every minute becomes an investment. Discipline turns 24 hours into progress, growth, and momentum. You can't control the number of hours in a day, but you can control how you use them. And the person who controls their use of time controls their destiny. The little things matter. Some people think discipline means only the big moments, the huge decisions. But it's actually the little choices, repeated daily, that build a disciplined life. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't wait until all your teeth are falling out to start brushing. You brush a little every day. That's discipline. Small, consistent actions that protect you from big problems later. It's the same with your money, your health, your relationships, your learning. Do the little things daily, and discipline will reward you with a life where big problems are rare. Neglect the little things, and discipline will punish you with a life full of crises. Emotion versus principle. Discipline means you don't live by emotion, you live by principle. If you live only by emotion, you'll never get far. Because emotions change. Some days you feel motivated, some days you don't. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll stay average. Principles, on the other hand, don't change. Discipline means you do what is right, not what is easy. You follow your plan, not your mood. Successful people are not necessarily more talented, they are simply more consistent. They train themselves to follow principles, not emotions. Self-discipline creates self-respect. Here's something important. When you practice self-discipline, you earn your own respect. You can fool the world. You can pretend to others, but you can't fool yourself. Deep down, you know whether you're keeping your own promises, and if you keep breaking promises to yourself, you lose trust in yourself. That's why people walk around discouraged. They don't need someone else to tell them they're failing. They already know. But if you practice discipline, you build self-respect. And when you respect yourself, the world begins to respect you too. Discipline in health. Let's talk about health. Everyone wants energy, vitality, strength. But health doesn't come from wishing. Health is built on discipline, eating wisely, moving your body, sleeping enough. It's simple, but not easy. You don't need a miracle diet. You need the discipline to skip the extra sugar, the discipline to walk instead of sit, the discipline to sleep instead of scroll. Do that daily, and your body will reward you. Neglect it, and your body will send you the bill with interest. Discipline in wealth now, discipline with money. Money is not emotional. It obeys rules. If you spend more than you earn, you'll suffer. If you save and invest, you'll prosper. The formula is simple, but it requires discipline. Some people say, when I earn more, then I'll save. No, if you can't save $1, you won't save 10,000. Saving isn't about amount, it's about discipline. It's the principle of controlling yourself today so you can enjoy freedom tomorrow. Discipline in learning. Let's move to learning. Self-discipline means you commit to growing your mind, not just entertaining it. You read, you study, you reflect. You choose knowledge over ignorance. Here's a truth. Ignorance is expensive. It costs opportunities, it costs relationships, it costs freedom. Learning requires discipline. But ignorance punishes you without mercy. Discipline in relationships, even relationships need discipline. Love is not just a feeling. It's also a discipline. To listen when you want to argue. To apologize when your pride doesn't want to. To invest time in people when you'd rather be distracted. Discipline makes relationships flourish. Neglect makes them die. Discipline is freedom now. Here's the paradox: people think discipline is prison. They think rules are chains. But discipline is actually freedom. The disciplined person has the freedom to live without constant crisis. The disciplined person has the freedom to enjoy health, wealth, respect, peace of mind. The undisciplined person, they live enslaved to cravings, emotions, debts, regrets. So, choose your master: discipline or regret. One will cost you a little now, the other will cost you everything later. Practical steps to build discipline. Now you might be wondering, how do I build this discipline? Start small. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick one habit, something simple. Maybe wake up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe save 10% of your income. Maybe read 10 pages a day. Win small, then build. Keep promises to yourself. If you say you'll do something, do it. Even if it's tiny. Train your brain to trust your word. Use systems, not willpower alone. Willpower is limited. Systems make discipline easier. For example, set out your workout clothes the night before. Automate your savings. Remove junk food from your house. Accept discomfort. Discipline often feels uncomfortable. That's the price. Get used to it. Comfort zones are where dreams go to die. Review daily. Each evening, ask yourself, did I live discipline today? Celebrate progress. Adjust failure and try again tomorrow. Stories of discipline. Let me give you a simple story. Two young men start working at the same company. One spends his evenings watching television, sleeping late, and spending his paycheck on entertainment. The other spends his evenings reading, learning, saving a portion of his income, taking care of his health. At first, they look the same. Year 1, no difference. Year 2, still no big difference. But fast forward 10 years, one man is stuck in the same job, overweight, with nothing in the bank. The other, he's promoted, respected, financially secure, healthy. Same starting point, different discipline. Another story, a man once said, I will start running tomorrow. He said it for months. Tomorrow never came. One day, his doctor told him his health was collapsing. Too late. That's the cost of undisciplined living. Discipline delayed often becomes discipline denied, the ultimate reward. So, what does self-discipline really give you? It gives you mastery. It gives you the ability to build the life you want, not the life that circumstances push on you. Self-discipline says, I am in control. I am not a slave to my impulses. I will not be tossed around by laziness or fear. I will live by design, not by default. And that, my friends, is true freedom. Closing, so, I ask you, will you pay the small price of discipline today, or the heavy price of regret tomorrow? Choose wisely, choose discipline, because your future, your family, your health, your wealth, your peace of mind, they're all waiting on the other side of that bridge called self-discipline. Thank you.